Ali the Tsunami be back. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did have somebody ask me that question, bro. Why do you like motorcycles and bikes so much? Because it's the closest thing to horseback riding. It's the closest thing to flying. So when you're in a car, it's different. You're protected. You're surrounded by all these different things. But when you're in a bike, first of all, it's mental therapy. If you had a hard day, you don't have time to think about that. It just takes all that away. It's like a stress reliever. But it is the closest thing to flying. And you're right. Every machine feels different. The adrenaline that you get in your blood, like, it's not even from speed either. It's just from riding. The way we cut through, the way we slice through traffic, the way we stop, the way you could feel different smells and everything just coming at you in a blur. It's almost like you're in a racetrack and you're horseback riding. It's like, my horse is different than yours. You have this type of horse, I have this type of horse. Every horse is different, even if it's the same breed, because that horse is older than that horse, or that horse wasn't raised the same way as that horse. So that's why I said I love motorcycles, because it's almost close to flying. And I want to get I want to get The Crow, the movie. Brandon Lee on my, you know how that crow, you know how crows are, but it's more about the bird. I want the kind of like the Hayabusa like tattoo, but that, like, I just think it's the closest thing to flying. And every machine feels different. When you're on it, you're one with the machine, no matter what kind of bike it is, especially motorcycles. Like, yeah, e-bikes, you're still one with it because they're hitting 40, 50 miles per hour. They all still feel different. But when it comes to motorcycles, this is different. Yeah. Even the e-bikes, even the Groms and the little mini motors, they all feel different. They all still feel like flying. One of my buddies was on the back of me the other day. He was on we was on the other bike, and he was like, "Wow, this feels like you're going 60, but we was only going 35." So only going about, I would say 38. I don't know, like 38. You know, just like it's different. You know, when you're not on it, it just feels different. Every time it's different when you ride. You see something different, it feels different. You're one with the machine. The machine is you. You are the machine. So it's not about, pulling up on people but also you gotta have love for bikes. I just think you gotta have a certain love for bikes. Like, everybody like different bikes. I've heard guys like Gixxers and Busas, and they like different bikes. And I like different bikes. The stuff they like may not what I like. He might like 100 different type of motorcycles, and my 100 is way completely different than his 100, because there's millions of bikes in the world. He might like Yamaha. I might like Yamaha, but I like Honda. He might like all his lineup to be Honda. I might like CF Moto or KTM Duke, or KTM. I might like, there's just so many. I might like Suzuki. I might like Harley. We talking about brands. So those brands have thousands of millions of bikes. It's been going back since the 50s, 60s with motorcycles. So it's just, and you know what? Motorcycles is the best. I really think it's a therapy thing. I really do think it's a mental therapy. You have no time. If you had a bad day at work, I suggest to get on your bike and ride. Because, like I said, it's the closest thing to flying, but at the same time, you have to be safe. You have to be aware. You don't have time to be thinking, oh, this happened at work. You don't have time for that. You have to be aware of what's going on. You'll get in an accident. So, and then also just the adrenaline, the energy that builds up, that pulse, that blood boiling, and then it just get released, and then you just feel good afterwards. Then you could just go home and just take a shower, and it's kind of like when you with your chick, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean, but you get what I'm saying. It's different. Every chick different. Every dude's different. Everybody's different. So, but I just think it's the closest to flying, and I always will think that. Even some of the scooters, they all feel different, because it's still to me, it's just still but when it comes to motorcycling, it's different than scooters. There's my boys like, this is not a scooter, this is like a motorcycle. I'm like, yeah, it's a mini moto, but they feel different. You don't think the Navi, even if it was clutchless, still feel different in the Grom? They sit different. They feel different. They run different. The motors even feel different. Like, you can hear the sound. Like, I don't know. It's something about when you're on a bike, you can feel how that motor feels, and it feels completely different. I've been on 3 bikes, and they all feel different. Like, I can feel like that throttle can tell you, and the braking and the acceleration and the agileness and the nimbleness. You can tell what the bike can do too. You can tell what your bike is capable of doing and what it's not capable of doing. So if your bike is not a nimble, agile bike, you'll know. And you don't have to look up reviews to know. That'd be good to do that, but kind of like the Honda CB300R. They've been making that bike for almost 7 years. I think it was 7 or 8 years, whatever. It's been a while, but I don't want them to discontinue it because it's light, it's nimble, it's the lightest bike probably in this decade, in this generation, and it's agile and it accelerates quick. But guess what? It doesn't go 150 miles per hour. What is it, like 100 top speed, but it starts to vibrate. But it's one of the best naked bikes in Honda. It's a single cylinder. It's not even a parallel twin cylinder like the Yamaha MT-03, which I think is the shit. You know, I think those are beginner bikes, but I think those are the best 300 cc's. I don't even think you need 500 cc's or 1,000 cc's like all these guys that have like the big Gixxers, and you can't go that fast, man. I mean, I know you want to fly fast, but you're already flying fast. You know, 65 feels like 85 on a bike. It really does. If you really look at the picture closely, it really goes that fast. Like, it really goes fast. And I get it. Some people want stuff to keep up with the highway. But only people that's crazy going 85, 90. So I don't want to hear that 300 cc's, it's not enough power. Yes, it is. It is enough power on the highway. That's 80, 85 miles per hour. Come on, dude. Even at 65, 70 is what you're supposed to be going on the highway. Most smart drivers do go that fast. Some go under that, a little bit, just 10 miles over the highway. Like the speed limit. That is. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear people saying, "Yo, they're gunning at 100," because and then they get pulled over. You got to be able to keep up with somebody that goes 100. No, you don't. You have to be safe, whether you're on a naked bike or a full fairing bike. So which one is it? It doesn't matter. You have to be safe and do the speed limit. Be safe. You want something that's completely different that you have control of. So when people say, "Yeah," they're like the other day I pulled up at the light. I was on a light on my motorcycle, and it was a girl. Was it a girl or a guy? I don't remember, but whatever. They pulled up on me. I just recall what happened, and they were trying to floor it on me, and I just took off on them because we were the only ones. There was no other cars on the opposite direction, and I took off because the bike was nimble, the bike was agile, the bike was quick, and then they just started gunning and going like 55, 60. I could keep up with you, but I'm not gonna. Am I gonna do that to make myself unsafe? I gotta watch for potholes. I gotta watch for someone. If that light turns yellow and then turns red real fast before I even cross that line, and someone is want to take off from the line, they smack me, you got away because you can accelerate faster. Your car. I'm not saying I can't, but I have to think very closely from both ways. What if someone was crossing the street? You know, what if there was a pothole on the other side? You know, you got to think, what if a kid was just running across the road? So we got to think like that, America. Especially cars doing a bike. Maybe you could swerve around, you know what I'm saying? And I love bikes. I think bikes, I see, and I know why this girl came up to me. She was like, "I love guys that ride motorcycles." I was like, "Well, then you'll love me." I was like, "What kind of bikes you like?" And then, whatever. You know, she was just like, "I like guys that ride bikes." I'm not saying me. You're not going to like me because I don't want a girlfriend right now, so you can't. No, I don't care if I have 10 bikes. Next 10 years, no, I'm good. I'm good for now. Very pretty. But I see why women like bikes. I see why there's female bikers. We need more female bikers. I love female bikers. This is just my style, my swagger. I just like female bikers. I'm not saying I don't like the regular woman, but I love female bikers. There's something about them because they know, they can feel a part of us as motorcyclists or bikers, and they can relate in that way. And I like the swagger. I like the cut jeans they wear and all the Just the way the Hondas. Like I saw this girl with the Honda Sport coat on. It was sick with the gloves that matching. I don't know. And I like the Harley girls. I like the boots. Some girls be clicking with the cowboy boots. I didn't see one girl with the cowboy boots on. Like I was like, wow, with the like. It was. I think it was a video scene, but still, she was bad. She was bad. Like her hair was like. She had like the bob in the front, and then it was like all braided on the sides. Just like you ain't gonna see that. You see bikers do that. Only like Die Hard. Then you see the ones with the tats. You know, I like the girls with the tats. Like she tatted on the arm. It was fly shit. Like ripped jeans, crazy. Like ripped here, ripped there, ripped there, ripped here. It was crazy. Ripped half shirt, ripped, but not like below where you could see all her breasts. It was the way the swagger is crazy. I don't know. Kind of like the rocker style. I just like that rocker, bikers, hip hopper style. But it's the swag. That swag is crazy. But anyways, like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next video.